Hello everybody, it's Penny here from East Herts Family Centre Service in Bishop Stortford, come to share another story with you. And our story today is called Starting School, and it's written by somebody called Francesca Ewart. Starting school is something that quite a lot of us are going to be doing soon, so we'll find out a little bit about what it might be like. But before we do that, let's just say hello to everybody. You might like to help me count to 3, and when we've counted to 3, we're going to say our name, maybe give a wave to everybody so we can all say hello and be great friends. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Penny! Oh, brilliant, fantastic counting. Starting school. Let's find out all about it. Are we ready? On the first school day, Sadie and her mum meet Sam and his dad. Oh, I'm so excited, said Sadie, jumping up and down. Sam, holding onto his dad's hand tightly, says, I'm nervous. Sadie's school bag has a picture of Cinderella on it, and Sam's school bag has a picture of a football. I've got juice, said Sadie, and an apple. Well, I've got juice too, said Sam, and an orange and biscuits and some crisps. Their teacher's name is Mrs. Bean, and she comes to greet the children and says, hello. Sadie says, bye to Mum. Sam says a very quiet bye to his dad. Mrs. Bean says bye too, and then she takes Sam and Sadie by the hand and in they go. Mrs. Bean puts a sticky name label onto their clothes, and above each name there is a picture. Your drawer has the same picture on it, says Mrs. Bean. Because when we're at school, we sometimes have our own special drawers where we can put our book bags in and anything that we have brought into school safe. And your cloakroom peg and your special place on the shoe trolley also has the same picture on it. So there they are. That's brilliant, isn't it? Sam puts his coat on the blue lorry peg, and Sadie puts hers on the carrot peg. Some children are already playing in the classroom. Sam wants to do a jigsaw puzzle, but he feels a little bit shy. Sadie watches the other children, and in a cage in the corner, something watches Sadie. There's Sadie. Ooh, I don't know if you can see, but there's the something watching Sadie. The children sit on the carpet by Mrs. Bean, and now she has the cage on her knee, and from under some straw, a tiny pink nose wobbles at them. Do you know who our special classroom friend is? Asked Mrs. Bean. Well, the children put up their hands, but no one has the right answer. A rabbit. A mouse? A monkey? No, Mrs. Bean shakes her head. He is called a gerbil, and his name is George, and you've all got to help look after him. George crawls out from underneath the straw, and he sits up, thinking he heard his name. Then the children sing a song together to help learn each other's name. Oh, that sounds fun. I wonder what that song is. Well, by break time, Sadie knows Hannah's name, and Sam knows Ben's name. And of course, everybody knows, ready? Yeah, George's name. At break time, some big boys and girls come into the classroom. These are your buddies, said Mrs. Bean. They'll help you with your coats and your jackets, and if you've forgotten where the toilet is, they'll help with that too. Well, Sadie's pleased because, she's forgotten already. Yeah, in some places they do. You've got the big older dog, because they can remember what it was like when they first started. The playground is huge, and there are some games painted on the ground in bright colours. The children eat their snacks. Sam gives a piece of orange to Ben, and a biscuit to Jessica, and some crisps to Sadie. So that's lovely sharing, isn't it? Really good friend making. They play hopscotch, and Joe falls over Sam, and Sadie pulls them both up. The two boys smile at her. I think they're saying thank you. Hopscotch is a good game. It has numbers, and we have to count and hop and jump. In the classroom, Joe shows off his hurt knee. When everybody's admired it, Mrs. Bean puts on a plaster, and she reads a story about a bear called Barney. Hands up, she says, if you know what colour Barney's jumper is, she says. Can you see? Here is Barney. Can you see what colour it is? Ben puts up both hands and he shouts out, red! Well done, Ben, said Mrs. Bean, and next time, just one hand will do nicely. Well, the children paint pictures of Barney. Sam gets a sticker that says, I am a star. Oh, he feels like a star too. Well, on the second day of school, Mrs. Bean plays a tape. It's music and movement, she says, and first we have to warm up. Warm up is brilliant. That means we've got to get our body ready and our legs and our arms and our bones all warmed up, ready to do some good exercise. So you put your hands on your hip, you step together, knees up high, reach up tall and clap. Wow, I wonder if we could do that again. Maybe you could stand up and have a go if I read that again, and maybe your grown-up will as well. I might play some music too. I'm going to play my tambourine. Are you ready? Hands on hip and step together, reach up tall and clap. Ah, brilliant. You have warmed up your bodies fantastically. Phew, I'm very warmed up, says Sadie. Everyone is as red as Barney's jumper. Well, back in the classroom, the children write some words. At first, Sadie doesn't think that she can. Well, Mrs. Bean writes a word with her magic teacher's pen, and then Sadie goes over the letters and writes cat. Well done, Sadie, says Mrs. Bean. Well, next they write some numbers. At first, Sam thinks, oh, that does look a bit too hard. Well, Mrs. Bean, you know what she does? She writes those numbers with her magic teacher's pen. Sam goes over them. Do you know, it's quite easy, really. And he has written 1, 2, 3. When dinner time comes, the buddies help the children to wash their hands, and then they help them decide what to eat too. Oh, there are so many choices. Look at that. Take your time, said Mrs. Bean, but only perhaps not too long, because we line up in a queue and choose. Oh, I used to love school lunches. Sadie has brought a packed lunch, so she doesn't have to decide. Well, on the third day at school, Mrs. Bean says, "Phew, I think George is a little bit smelly." So the children help her to clean out George's cage. And on Friday, she says, "One of you can take him home." Sadie hopes it will be her. Yes, sometimes if you have a pet in the classroom, you have to take it home at the weekend when we don't come into school to look after them. Today, says Mrs. Bean, we're going to paint George. Oh, Sam thinks George looks a little bit worried. You can tell by his nose. "It's okay," Sam whispers. "We're only going to paint pictures of you. We're not going to paint you." I think that's what George might have thought. I think I did for a minute as well. "Roll up your sleeves," said Mrs. Bean, and she gives the children plastic aprons and they start to paint. "And we'll hang the paintings on our washing line to dry," said Mrs. Bean. Well, Mrs. Bean writes a story on Sadie's painting. Sadie can't wait to show it to Mum and Dad. I'm going to turn it round and see what it says. It says, "Sadie painted George eating his dinner. Isn't that lovely? Mrs. Bean has written some words. Well, on the 1, 2, 3, 4th day of school, Mrs. Bean says, today we are going to have a teddy bear's picnic for all your bear friends. There's nothing to eat, says Sam. You are going to make the cake, said Mrs. Bean. Then you can add the icing and make faces on them too. Well, the children put on aprons and wash their hands, and then they make the cakes. Oh, wow. That does look fun, isn't it? Did you know that sometimes you can do baking in school? That sounds good, doesn't it? Mrs. Bean puts a name label beside each cake. I know everyone's name, said Sam. Wow, said Sadie. That didn't take long. This one here says Sadie. Then the children sit with their bears and eat their cakes, and they sing a counting song, 3 little bears sitting in the forest. Well, at the end of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th school day, lots of children get stickers. Now, said Mrs. Bean, who is going to take George home? She smiles at Sadie. Mrs. Bean knows that Sadie would love to take George home, and she gives Sadie a sticker that says, I was a good friend, and she hands her George's cage too. Oh, Sadie is so happy she thinks she's going to burst. Well, the children line up to go home. I like school, said Sadie. Do you know, I think I do too, said Sam. George wobbles his tiny nose. He knows he does. Wow, what a lot of things they have done in their first week at school. And it's good to know that Sam has found that he has enjoyed it. Those little wobbles, that little anxious thing at the beginning of school, I've sort of got over those, and it's lots and lots of fun things to enjoy. I wonder if you go to school whether they'll have a school pet there. I don't know. Maybe you know already. But anyway, lots to think about then. So I'm going to say bye-bye to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.